4-star charity
Uh-huh.
for the 11th year in a row. We expect to get the 12th. This will be our 12th year. They also started a scoring system of 100, your top score, and we've received that for the last 2 years. We expect to receive it again. So that helps us as far as when someone is looking for a charity to donate to or volunteer for or be a part of for any reason. If they go on Charity Navigator, if they look up charities, Charity Navigator pop up, and they can go on and they can just put in whatever charity they're looking for and seeing if they're ranked, because that's not something we have any control over. They rank us.
Mm-hmm.
We just put everything that we can, like on our website, and do everything that they feel is being as transparent as possible, and then they give you a 4-star. There's nothing you can really do other than the things that they're asking you to do to get that 4-star, but they're the ones that choose the charities. So we don't have like an active role in like calling them and schmoozing them and trying to get them to do anything. They are just their own entity, and they look at like, I don't know, thousands and thousands of charities every year, and they give them ratings. So we're very fortunate to be, the top-rated charity.
Congratulations. Is there any recipe for successful collaboration from your experience?
So successful collaboration. I think it's really finding things that, if you're trying to collaborate with another agencies, as long as you both have the same goal, both same, a similar mission in mind,
Mm-hmm.
then the collaboration becomes very easy. If those don't mix, you're going to be fighting with, no, we want to do it this way, we want to do it this way. But if your missions mesh and your goals are similar, then you're fine. It'll be a smoother collaboration.
How important do you think trust is for collaboration?
Oh, it's mandatory. Because if you're trying to collaborate with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and they're promising you the moon and the stars and they don't give you anything, that's tough. So if you're collaborating with someone and you're expecting each other to, do whatever you need to do, you have to be able to trust that person's going to come through, and that they're going to have to be able to trust you that you're going to also do what you're telling them you're doing. So yeah, absolutely mandatory.
Have you ever had something that when your trust was a little bit betrayed, or maybe somebody didn't behave in a way that you expected them to behave?
I haven't really experienced that myself. That's in a lot of my jobs. I've been, and I think it's because you build those partnerships before you collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
There's that trust that's built early on before you just jump into a collaboration. And so, no, not really. No.
That's very fascinating because, there are at times when somebody tries to behave opportunistic, and it's just good. And I've heard it a lot that in the nonprofit sector, pretty much everyone is so dependent on each other that they do collaborate in a good way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think you just have to. We've just been very fortunate.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, nothing popped in my mind, so I guess nothing big.
Of course.
If it was anything, it was small.
And you mentioned that before you collaborate, you actually build partnership. So, how do personal relationship play a role? Is it, for example, a partnership between Karen and somebody and a person from another organization, or is it more like a Boca Helping Hands partnership with another organization?
Yeah, no, it's more of a Boca. It's more of a company.
Company.
I mean, you're the representative of the company,
mm-hmm.
but and then you might become friends with that person too. But it all begins with company.
It's company.
You're that representative, yeah.
I'm almost done with my questions, so thank you so much for your time.
Okay, no.
And are you guys preparing for the next hurricanes? Did you decide to change anything, or are you planning to be more involved in disaster recovery, or pretty much not so?
No, okay, so no, we're not planning on becoming more active in disaster recovery. We'll just, again, help our community as needed, because there are agencies in place for disaster recovery. And we are doing so many things in our community, so many programs right now. That's just not something we want to add to that list, but we would definitely be here to help our community partners, just even community, like the fire department, police department, whoever. If they needed our help, we would do our best to help, to join in and help with it whenever we could.
But again, you're an independent organization. You're not affiliated with any other organization, right?
Exactly. We are we're a secular and non-political organization, so we don't get funding through the government, and we do get religious funding, from churches and stuff, but we are not a religious organization.
So you're not a faith-based organization either.
No, we're not.
So you just get your...
But it's funny because we started out with faith-based people, actually are the ones that created this whole organization. So it's interesting that they created it, but they did not choose to become a faith-based organization.
Really? Why so, do you think?
Yeah. I think it's because that way it opens more doors for helping everybody, and that people don't feel restricted. Oh, I'm not Jewish. Oh, I'm not a Christian. Oh, I'm not Baptist. Oh, I'm not whatever,
So the majority of your funding just comes from donors and grants?
So a lot of, our individual donors, grants, and foundations.
And grants, are they more like state grants or more company grants?
No, they're more companies and foundations. Yeah, we don't get any, we have one grant we get through the city, but I have to apply for it, so I'm not guaranteed it. So we get that grant, and then, but we don't get any state funding or, through government funding. We don't get that.
That's also maybe a reason why you don't feel as much competition, because usually nonprofits compete for the state resources, while with the donors, it's more of their choice.
Right. Yes. And we're finding that donors really are liking to support organizations that are local. That are local organizations. So.
Is it easier to partner with sponsors or with other nonprofits, or it doesn't really matter?
Say that again?
Is there any differences in collaboration with nonprofit organizations versus with donors and companies?
Yes, because the donors and the companies that support us have a tangible, they are giving of themselves, their time, their money, whatever, they're funding us in some way. Whereas the nonprofits, it's a little bit not so much that as it is, we're sharing things with each other, or maybe they have an issue that they're trying to solve, and they come to us to see if we can help them figure it out, or we go to them and help them figure it out. So that's different than the relationship you'd have with your donors.
Do you feel that sometimes you are collaborating with other nonprofits and you're expecting them to do something for you later?
No.
Not really, right?
I mean, I don't think that's who we are. No, that's not who we are.
So, Karen, thank you so much for your time. And that was very helpful, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
Have
I
a
hope you have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
And let me know if you have any other questions, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right, Yana. Okay, bye.
Bye.